Liam adjusted the straps of his backpack as he stepped off the small exploration shuttle onto the surface of Zyra. The planet stretched before him in colors he had never imagined. The sky glowed with a soft purple hue, and the sun shone like a large amber jewel. Towering trees with crystal leaves swayed gently, and streams of water reflected the light in sparkling patterns. Floating islands drifted above the ground, connected by bridges of shimmering energy. Liam could not help but take a deep breath. This world was alive in a way he had never seen before. He had traveled many light years to reach Zyra. Humans were still rare here, and many alien civilizations looked at them with curiosity or suspicion. But Liam had a goal. He wanted to learn. He wanted to understand life beyond his home world, not to conquer it or claim it. He adjusted the small scanner on his wrist and began walking toward what he hoped was the first city. As he moved through the forest, he noticed creatures that looked like a cross between birds and fish. They glided through the air in schools, leaving trails of sparkling dust. Liam paused to observe them. He noticed one small creature lying on the ground. Its wing was bent, and it struggled to move. Without thinking, Liam knelt beside it. "Hey there," he whispered softly, careful not to scare it. He opened a small first aid kit in his backpack. Using gentle hands, he examined the creature's wing. It was not broken, only sprained. He fashioned a small splint from a twig and carefully wrapped the wing in a soft band. The creature chirped softly, and its large, luminescent eyes looked at him with what seemed like gratitude. Liam smiled. Helping was simple for him. He did not expect reward or thanks. He just could not ignore someone or something in need. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from behind a cluster of tall crystal plants. Liam froze. The sound was soft but deliberate. A figure stepped forward. She was tall, with pale blue skin that shimmered faintly in the sunlight. Her hair was long and silver, and her eyes were a deep violet that seemed to pierce right through him. She wore a flowing gown that glowed softly at the edges, and a small crown rested delicately on her head. Liam straightened. He had expected to meet aliens, but never someone so regal and commanding in the wild. "Who are you?" her voice rang, clear and musical, yet edged with suspicion. I am Liam," he said carefully. "I am an explorer from Earth. I did not mean to intrude. I was just helping that creature." He gestured toward the small injured animal. The alien stepped closer, and Liam could see her expression shift. Her eyes widened as she looked at the creature. "You helped it?" she asked, almost in disbelief. Why would a human care for an injured being if there is nothing to gain? Liam paused. He had not expected this reaction. "I care because it was in need," he said simply. "I do not expect anything in return. I just help." Her brow furrowed, and her lips pressed into a thin line. "Humans always want something," she said, her voice trembling slightly with anger. "Even when they act kind, they have a motive. What is yours?" Liam shook his head slowly. "No motive. I just do what I think is right." For a moment, she stared at him silently. The wind rustled the crystal leaves around them, creating soft chimes that echoed in the clearing. She looked at the small creature again, and her eyes softened slightly. "Perhaps, your words are true," she said quietly. "Perhaps not every human hides a desire behind kindness. But I do not understand you. How can you act without expectation?" Liam smiled faintly. "It is not always easy. I grew up learning that helping others is the best way to live. It does not mean we are weak. It means we value life and friendship." The alien princess, for that he realized she must be, tilted her head. "Friendship, with a human?" She sounded both curious and doubtful. "Do you think I could trust a human?" "I cannot tell you to trust me," Liam said honestly. "Trust is earned. But I will act kindly, even if you do not trust me. That is all I can do." She studied him carefully. Her eyes moved over his face, searching for signs of trickery or deceit. She saw none. Yet, the fire of anger and pride burned in her violet eyes. "Your words are easy," she said finally. "Kindness is easy to speak. Action is different." Liam nodded. "Then watch me act. I do not just speak. I act. And I act with honesty." The princess hesitated, then gestured for him to follow. "You may come with me. But do not think I will let you walk freely in my city. Humans have caused harm before. I will watch you closely." Liam bowed slightly. "That is fair." She led him through the forest, moving with grace and speed. Liam followed, careful not to make noise. As they walked, he noticed the small injured creature hopping along behind them, healed enough to keep up. The princess glanced at it once but said nothing. Finally, they reached the edge of a floating island. The city of Zyra floated above the ground, held by unknown energy. Towers shimmered with light, and bridges of energy connected the islands. Airships drifted between buildings, and aliens of many shapes moved gracefully along the streets. "This is my home," she said quietly. "You will see many things here. But remember, not all will welcome a human." "I understand," Liam said. His heart raced with awe. The city was more beautiful than anything he had imagined. Yet, he also felt the weight of her words. This was a place of wonder, but also of danger. The princess paused and turned to him. "Tell me, Liam from Earth, why are you kind to a creature you do not know? Do you expect something in return?" "No," Liam said firmly. "I do not expect anything. I only do what I believe is right." Her eyes narrowed slightly, a mix of anger and curiosity. "We shall see, human. We shall see." With that, she turned and walked into the heart of the city. Liam followed, feeling a mix of excitement and tension. He had entered a world unlike any other, and he knew that his kindness would soon be tested. But he also knew one thing: he would not stop acting with honesty, no matter what came next. The city of Zyra glowed softly under the purple sky as Liam walked behind Princess Nira. Every step revealed buildings that seemed alive, with walls of flowing light and streets that hummed with energy. Aliens of many shapes and colors moved gracefully, some flying, others gliding on energy paths. Liam could not stop staring. It was beautiful, but he knew he had to focus. Princess Nira did not trust him yet, and one wrong move could end his visit before it truly began. "You will walk carefully," Nira said, her voice sharp. "Do not touch anything without permission. Many things here are dangerous, even if they seem harmless." "I understand," Liam replied calmly. He had learned early that respecting local customs was crucial. He kept his hands at his sides and his steps light. As they walked through a wide plaza, small beings with translucent skin and luminous veins approached. They bowed slightly to Nira. She nodded in return, keeping her eyes on Liam. "Do you see them?" she asked. "These are my people. They are cautious around strangers, especially humans. Some of them fear you." Liam nodded. "I will not do anything to harm them. I promise." Nira's eyes narrowed. "Promises are easy. Action is difficult. Many humans speak of peace and kindness, but they always seek advantage." She stopped walking and turned to him. "Why should I believe you are different?" Liam looked around at the plaza, at the aliens observing him. He thought carefully before answering. "Because I do not gain anything from lying. I only want to understand your world. I want to help when I can, but I do not expect rewards. That is how I live." Nira stared at him silently. For a moment, it seemed as though she would not respond. Then she turned sharply and began walking toward a tall tower at the center of the city. Liam followed. Inside the tower, the walls glowed with soft light, revealing intricate patterns that told the history of Zyra. Nira stopped in front of a large holographic map. It showed the cities, forests, and floating islands of her planet. Her eyes scanned the map quickly, then she looked at Liam. "You see this," she said, pointing to a small glowing section on the map. "This is where my people live. Many humans would take advantage of our knowledge, our resources. They would pretend to be kind and curious while plotting to control us." "I do not want to control anything," Liam said sincerely. "I want to learn. I want to understand your people and your world. That is all." Nira's eyes flashed with anger. "You speak easily, human. Words are cheap. How do I know that your heart is true?" Liam thought for a moment. Then he said quietly, "I do not expect you to know right away. You will see through my actions, not my words. That is all I can do." Nira studied him for a long moment. The anger in her eyes mixed with something else, curiosity, perhaps. She turned back to the map and pointed to a section far from the city, a thick forest that shimmered in green and blue. "If you truly want to help, you will come with me there. Many humans would never survive the forest. They would be frightened or careless. But you may prove yourself by keeping up." Liam nodded. "I will follow you." The two of them left the tower and began walking toward the forest. The streets became quieter, and fewer aliens passed them. Liam noticed how carefully Nira moved, almost as if she were testing him. She kept glancing at him, watching his reactions closely. As they entered the forest, the light changed. The trees were taller here, and the air felt alive with energy. Strange creatures watched from the shadows. Liam could feel the tension in Nira's body. She was ready for danger at any moment. A small creature with glowing eyes darted across their path. Nira's hand went to her side, where a small energy blade rested in her belt. Liam stopped and raised his hands slowly. "Wait," he said softly. "It is harmless. It only watches." Nira frowned. "You think you understand everything here?" she asked sharply. "Humans are too bold. You do not know the forest as I do. One wrong move, and you could be destroyed." "I will be careful," Liam said. "I have faced dangers before. I can handle this." She watched him closely as they continued deeper into the forest. Liam noticed how she moved every step precise, every glance alert. He realized she had trained for this since childhood. She was not just a princess, she was a warrior. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the trees. A large creature, taller than a house with shimmering blue scales, emerged. It roared, and the ground trembled. Nira stepped in front of Liam, energy blade ready. "Stay back," she shouted. Liam did not move. Instead, he observed the creature carefully. He noticed its eyes were not angry, just cautious. Slowly, he stepped forward, speaking softly. "It does not want to fight. We can leave it alone." Nira looked at him in surprise. "You understand?" "Yes," Liam said. "You only need to show respect. That is how I approach every being." The creature tilted its head, watching them. Liam lowered his hands slowly, and Nira followed his example. The creature sniffed the air, then turned and walked away without attacking. Nira's eyes softened slightly. "Perhaps, your ways are not entirely foolish," she said quietly. "But do not think I will trust you completely. Humans are unpredictable. Kindness can hide danger." "I understand," Liam said. "I do not expect trust immediately. I only hope to earn it." For a while, they walked in silence. Liam felt the tension between them, but also a small shift. Nira's anger had not disappeared, but her curiosity was growing. She began asking small questions about his home world, about why humans were different, and why he acted with such honesty. Liam answered patiently, sharing stories of Earth, of families, of humans helping one another without expecting reward. Nira listened, sometimes interrupting with sharp questions, other times simply observing. By the time they returned to the edge of the forest near the city, the sun was low in the sky. Nira stopped and turned to him. Her violet eyes were unreadable, but there was a faint trace of something new: respect. "You may continue with me for now," she said. "But remember, human, your actions will always be watched. One mistake, and you will be cast out." "I understand," Liam said with a small smile. "I will do my best." Nira nodded once, then turned and disappeared into the city. Liam followed, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. He had survived the forest and the princess's tests, but he knew the real challenge was just beginning. He understood one thing clearly on Zyra: kindness alone could make a difference. But it would take patience, courage, and honesty to truly earn trust. Liam was ready for that challenge. The next morning, the floating city of Zyra shimmered under the soft light of the twin suns. Liam walked beside Princess Nira through a quiet courtyard filled with glowing plants and humming fountains. The air smelled sweet and fresh, and birds with crystal wings glided through the sky. But Liam could sense that Nira's mood was tense. Her violet eyes flicked toward him repeatedly, as if measuring his every move. "You follow me closely," Nira said sharply. "Why do you persist in being near me? You could wander elsewhere in the city. Humans have many opportunities to act for themselves. Why stay by my side?" "I stay because you allowed me," Liam said calmly. "And because I want to learn. Being near you helps me understand your world. I do not stay for power or reward. Only to help and observe." Her brow furrowed. "Many humans would lie for a chance to gain power. I do not know if you are different yet." "I hope you will see soon," Liam said. Before Nira could respond, a sudden alarm echoed through the city. A loud siren blared, and holographic lights flashed red across the streets. Nira's ears twitched, and she grabbed Liam's arm. "Follow me," she said urgently. "Something is happening in the lower districts. Stay close, or you will be in danger." Liam nodded and ran beside her. They reached the edge of the city where the streets narrowed and the buildings grew taller. Smoke rose in the distance, and creatures of strange shapes scurried across the rooftops. Nira's guards tried to push back a group of large, aggressive creatures that had broken into the city. They had sharp claws and glowing eyes, and they moved with frightening speed. "Stay behind me!" Nira shouted to Liam. Liam did not hesitate. He analyzed the creatures quickly. They were dangerous, but they moved predictably. Using a small device from his backpack, he projected a barrier of light to block one creature's path. It stumbled back, surprised, giving Nira an opening to strike with her energy blade. Nira glanced at him, her violet eyes widening. You know how to handle them." "I have studied their movements," Liam said calmly. "I do not want to fight, but I can protect you and your people." They moved together through the narrow streets. Nira used her agility and skill to defend herself, while Liam guided her and blocked creatures when necessary. His calm actions and quick thinking saved them from harm more than once. Finally, they reached a small courtyard where a group of injured citizens had gathered. Nira knelt to check on them, while Liam helped lift a wounded alien with delicate hands. He spoke softly, trying to calm the frightened creature. "Why do you help them?" Nira asked, her voice tense but curious. "Even when you could run, you choose to aid them. Humans are supposed to care for themselves first." "I believe in protecting those in need," Liam said. "It is not weakness. It is strength to care for others. I do not gain anything from helping. I only act because it is right." Nira studied him silently. The tension in her face softened, but her pride still held her anger close. She could not yet fully trust him, but she was beginning to see that his actions were genuine. Suddenly, a larger creature burst through the wall of the courtyard. It was taller than a tree, with scales that shimmered like polished metal. Its claws dug into the ground, sending debris flying. Nira's guards struggled to hold it back. "You stay behind me." Nira shouted again, readying her energy blade. No, Liam said firmly. We face it together. Nira looked at him in surprise. You are reckless. Not reckless, Liam said calmly. Prepared. Trust me. He activated another device from his backpack, creating a temporary shield that protected them from the creature's attacks. Liam and Nira coordinated their movements. She struck with precision, while he guided the shield and blocked debris. Together, they forced the creature back, cornering it against a wall. Finally, Nira delivered a controlled strike that subdued the creature without killing it. It collapsed, panting, and then slowly retreated, realizing it could not win. Nira stepped back, breathing heavily. Her violet eyes were wide, and for a moment, she said nothing. Then she turned to Liam. You risked yourself to protect me, she said quietly. Not for reward, not for advantage. Just because you chose to help. Why? Because it was right, Liam said simply. I do not act for thanks or recognition. I act because it matters to protect life. That is my choice. Nira's anger faded slightly, replaced with a mix of awe and confusion. She had never seen anyone act with such honesty and bravery. Even the court advisors, who had been skeptical of humans, watched in silent respect. You, humans are strange, she said softly. You act in ways I do not understand. You risk yourselves for others without expecting anything. It is admirable. Liam smiled faintly. I hope one day you will see more humans like me. Many of us try to live with kindness and courage, even in difficult situations. The citizens who had been trapped began to recover, and Nira helped them back to safety. Liam stayed close, offering guidance and reassurance. Together, they restored calm to the area, and the city's defenses regained control. As the chaos ended, Nira turned to Liam. Her violet eyes were no longer filled with anger, but with curiosity and a cautious respect. You have survived the danger and acted without deception, she said. Perhaps I was too quick to judge you. Perhaps not every human seeks only gain. I am glad you see that, Liam said. But I understand your caution. Trust must be earned, not demanded. Nira nodded. We shall continue to see, human. You have shown courage, but there is much more to learn about each other. Do not think your actions alone will make me trust you fully. You must continue to prove yourself. I will, Liam said with a quiet confidence. I will continue to act honestly, no matter what comes next. The princess watched him for a long moment. She had begun to question her assumptions about humans. Perhaps they were not all as selfish as she had believed. Perhaps kindness and courage could exist even among strangers from distant stars. For the first time, Nira felt a flicker of hope. If humans could act with such integrity, maybe they could be allies rather than threats. But she also knew she would remain vigilant. One mistake, one misstep, could destroy the fragile trust that was forming. As the twin suns began to set over Zyra, casting the city in shades of purple and gold, Liam and Nira walked together through the streets. The air was calm now, and the glowing buildings reflected the light beautifully. Liam felt a sense of accomplishment, but he knew the journey was far from over. The dangerous lesson had taught both of them something important. Liam had proven that human kindness and bravery were real. Nira had learned that not all humans were motivated by selfish desires. And in that moment, a fragile bond began to form, a bond that would be tested many times in the adventures to come. After the dangerous encounter in the streets, the city of Zyra was calm again. Liam walked beside Princess Nira as they returned to the palace. The streets glowed softly under the twin suns, and citizens looked at them with a mixture of curiosity and respect. Liam could feel the cautious eyes of Nira's people following him, but he did not falter. He had learned that showing honesty and respect earned more trust than words alone. Nira led him through winding corridors filled with glowing walls and shifting patterns of light. The air hummed with energy, and Liam noticed small devices floating beside the walls, recording everything quietly. "This palace is alive," Liam said quietly. "It seems to sense you." Nira did not respond immediately. She walked with grace and purpose, her violet eyes fixed on a large chamber at the heart of the palace. The room opened into a vast space filled with holographic star maps, floating books, and glowing orbs. Liam's eyes widened in amazement. He had never seen anything like it. "This is where I learn," Nira said. "Here, I study our history, our knowledge, and our sciences. Few outsiders are allowed here, and fewer still are allowed to touch anything." "I understand," Liam said. "I will not touch anything without permission." Nira studied him for a moment, then nodded. "You have proven careful before. Perhaps I can allow you to observe. But be warned, human, curiosity can be dangerous. You must think before you act." "I will," Liam said sincerely. They moved through the chamber, and Nira began explaining the floating star maps. She pointed to nearby planets, describing their histories, resources, and cultures. Liam listened attentively, fascinated by the depth of knowledge. "Your people have studied the stars for centuries," he said. "It is amazing how much you know about the universe." Nira's eyes softened slightly. "Yes. Knowledge is power, but it is also responsibility. Many who seek knowledge use it for selfish reasons. That is why outsiders are watched carefully." "I understand," Liam said. "On Earth, knowledge is also valued, but humans often struggle to use it wisely. That is why I travel to learn from others and to share what I know without harming anyone." Nira tilted her head. "And what do humans know that is valuable?" she asked, her voice curious but guarded. "Humans know about cooperation, trust, and compassion," Liam said. "We are not perfect, but we have learned that helping one another can achieve great things. That is why I act as I do. I want to learn from you, but also share what I know about kindness and teamwork." Nira studied him carefully. She had never encountered anyone who spoke so openly about values instead of power or advantage. "Your words are unusual," she said softly. "You speak of principles, not gain. That is different." Liam smiled faintly. "I cannot change the past of humans, but I can choose my own actions. I act honestly because it is the right thing to do." Nira walked to a table filled with glowing objects and small devices. She picked up a delicate orb that projected a miniature star system. "This is a model of a distant galaxy," she explained. "Our scientists study it to understand planetary movement and energy flow. You may observe, but do not touch." Liam nodded. He leaned closer, fascinated by the precision of the projection. "On Earth, we study planets too, but your technology is far beyond ours. It is incredible." For the next few hours, Nira showed Liam more of the palace's knowledge. She demonstrated tools that recorded thoughts, devices that analyzed matter, and machines that simulated entire ecosystems. Liam asked questions respectfully, never touching anything without permission. He shared stories of Earth in return, how humans solved problems together, how communities survived hardships through cooperation, and how small acts of kindness often led to great results. Nira listened closely. Sometimes she interrupted with sharp questions, testing him. "Humans say they act with kindness, yet many fight and steal. How do you explain that?" "Not all humans are perfect," Liam said. "But many try to do what is right. People can learn and improve. The same is true for all beings, I believe. Mistakes do not define a life. Actions do." Nira considered this carefully. "Perhaps you are right. Perhaps the value of action is more important than intention alone. But still, trusting outsiders is difficult." "I understand," Liam said. "Trust is earned, not given. That is why I am patient. I will continue to act honestly, and perhaps in time, you will see that my words match my actions." As the day passed, Liam noticed Nira's behavior changing subtly. She still questioned him and maintained a distance, but there was less sharpness in her tone. Her eyes showed curiosity and interest instead of constant suspicion. He realized that the dangerous encounter in the streets had opened a door. Now, learning together in peace could strengthen that bond. Later, Nira led Liam to a quiet balcony overlooking the city. Floating islands drifted above, and the citizens moved below in harmony. "Humans are unusual," she said, her voice softer than before. "You act without expectation, yet you risk yourself for others. That is rare. Even among my people, few would act as you do." "I have learned that life is worth protecting," Liam said. "Whether human, alien, or creature. Kindness is not weakness, it is a strength. It builds bonds that last, even across worlds." Nira looked out at the city silently. Then she turned to him. "Perhaps there is more to humans than I believed. Perhaps your ways can teach my people something important. But you must continue to prove yourself. Words are easy. Actions are what matter." "I will," Liam said. "I promise to act honestly and with courage. That is all I can do." For a long moment, Nira studied him. Then she nodded, a faint smile touching her lips. It was the first time Liam had seen her smile, and it filled him with quiet hope. As the twin suns began to set, casting the city in warm colors, Liam and Nira continued to share stories and knowledge. They spoke of science, ethics, history, and survival. Liam learned about Nira's responsibilities as a princess and future leader, about her people's struggles and achievements, and about the delicate balance of their world. Nira learned about Earth, about human values, and about the ways a single person could act with courage and kindness to make a difference. By nightfall, the bond between them had deepened. Nira's anger had softened, replaced by cautious respect and curiosity. Liam's patience and honesty had shown her that humans could be more than selfish outsiders. As they parted for the night, Nira said quietly, "You have shown me much today, human. Perhaps there is hope in learning from one another. Tomorrow, we will continue. But remember, your actions must always reflect your words." "I understand," Liam said. "I will do my best." With that, they went their separate ways, each thinking about the day's lessons. Liam felt a quiet satisfaction. He had not only survived danger but had begun to build trust. Nira, for the first time, wondered if humans could truly be different from what she had expected. The palace was calm now, but both of them knew that challenges lay ahead. The bond of learning and sharing had begun, and it would be tested in ways neither could yet imagine. The next morning, the palace of Zyra was alive with tension. Princess Nira moved quickly through the halls, her violet eyes sharp and alert. Liam walked beside her, observing the bustling activity. Guards patrolled corridors, and advisors whispered urgently to each other. Something was wrong. Nira's people were uneasy, and the air carried a sense of impending conflict. "What is happening?" Liam asked quietly. Nira's lips pressed into a thin line. "There is a faction among my people that wants to take control of the throne. They are impatient with my leadership. They believe they can rule better than I can." She shook her head. "I must act carefully. Any mistake could lead to chaos." Liam nodded. "Do you want me to help?" Nira studied him. "You are not a warrior of Zyra. You do not know our customs. If you interfere, you could worsen the situation." "I understand," Liam said. "But I can offer advice. On Earth, humans often solve problems by working together and thinking creatively. Perhaps my perspective will help." Nira hesitated, then nodded. "Very well. Speak, but carefully. One wrong word could betray you." They entered the council chamber, where Nira's advisors had gathered. Holographic maps and glowing symbols filled the room. Nira stepped forward, her presence commanding attention. "The faction seeks to overthrow my rule," she said. "I need a plan to protect the city and maintain peace. Ideas are welcome. One advisor, a tall being with silver hair and glowing green eyes, stepped forward. Your Highness, we can send our forces to strike immediately. That will show strength. Another suggested, we could imprison the leaders quietly, so no one notices. Then the threat will vanish. Neera shook her head. Violence alone will not solve the problem. My people respect fairness and honor. If I act without wisdom, I could lose their trust. Liam stepped forward carefully. Perhaps there is another way, he said. On Earth, humans often face conflicts by using communication, planning, and teamwork. Instead of striking immediately, you could organize a strategy that shows strength while avoiding unnecessary harm. You could use defenses to protect the city and give the faction a choice, retreat or face controlled consequences. Neera raised an eyebrow. And you think humans know better? I know that humans sometimes succeed by thinking creatively and staying calm under pressure, Liam said. I can help plan. You still lead, but I offer ideas from my experience. Neera considered him. Then she nodded slowly. Very well. Show me what you suggest. Together, they studied the city maps. Liam observed the layout, the floating bridges, the defensive towers, and the paths the faction could use to attack. He suggested placing energy barriers in key areas to slow their advance. He recommended communication channels to warn citizens and redirect them to safety. Neera listened closely, making small adjustments to account for Zyra's technology and the abilities of her people. You think like a strategist, Neera said quietly. It is unusual for a human to understand our defenses so quickly. I pay attention, Liam said. And I have learned from observing others. Planning and teamwork often prevent unnecessary conflict. By mid-afternoon, a plan was ready. Neera assigned trusted guards to key positions and activated the energy barriers. Liam helped coordinate the signals, showing how to guide citizens and avoid panic. The tension in the city was palpable, but everyone moved efficiently. As the sun began to set, the faction made its move. Shadowy figures approached the city gates, moving quickly and quietly. Neera and her advisors watched from the tower. Liam stood beside her, pointing out positions and suggesting adjustments. The first group reached the energy barriers. They stopped, confused by the shimmering walls that blocked their path. Neera's guards moved with precision, guiding the intruders into areas where they could be contained without harm. Liam suggested using sound signals and flashing lights to confuse and redirect them. The plan worked perfectly. The faction was slowed and cornered, and none of the citizens were harmed. Finally, Neera faced the faction leaders directly. Her voice was firm and clear. Your actions threaten the peace of Zyra. I do not seek unnecessary bloodshed, but I will protect my people and my city. You may leave now, or face controlled consequences. The leaders hesitated, then, seeing the barriers and the coordinated defenses, chose to retreat. Neera's plan had worked. She had maintained order and fairness without excessive force. Neera turned to Liam, her violet eyes wide. Your ideas helped us avoid a disaster. Humans can think differently than I imagined. Liam smiled faintly. I only suggested. You made the decisions. Leadership comes from courage and judgment. I only offered another perspective. Neera nodded slowly. Perhaps there is value in learning from outsiders. But still, trust must be earned. You have helped today, but the true test may come later. I understand, Liam said. I will continue to act honestly and with care. That is all I can do. As night fell over Zyra, the city was calm again. Citizens moved safely through the glowing streets, and the floating islands reflected the soft light of the twin suns. Neera walked with Liam to a quiet balcony overlooking the city. You have shown me human ingenuity, she said softly. And courage. But more than that, you showed patience and respect. That is unusual. I believe every being has something to teach, Liam said. Even humans. Even aliens. If we listen and act with care, we can achieve more together than alone. Nira studied him silently. Then she nodded. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps humans can be more than I imagined. But remember, human, your actions will always be watched. One misstep could undo everything. I understand, Liam said. I will not falter. I will act with honesty and courage, no matter what challenges come. For the first time, Nira felt a mixture of respect and curiosity that went beyond her initial anger. Liam was not just a human outsider, he was someone who could teach her about courage, patience, and morality. He had proven that humans could offer something valuable to her people more than strength or weapons. As the night deepened, the princess and the humans stood silently, watching the calm city. The political threat had been handled, but they both knew that future challenges would test them again. The bond of trust and respect between them had grown stronger, and both felt a quiet hope that they could face whatever came next together. The next morning, the city of Zyra seemed peaceful, but Liam could feel tension lingering in the air. Princess Nira walked beside him through the palace gardens, her violet eyes scanning the surroundings. Though the political threat had been handled, she remained alert. Liam had learned to respect her vigilance. Her people were cautious for a reason, and he knew he must continue earning their trust. We have done well so far, Nira said quietly, but the real test is yet to come. Leadership is not only about strategy. It is about courage, wisdom, and knowing when to act. I understand, Liam said. I will do what I can to help, without expecting anything in return. Her violet eyes narrowed slightly. Words are easy, human. Today, actions will matter. A sudden alarm sounded throughout the city. Red lights flashed, and a deep vibration shook the palace floors. Citizens ran through the streets in panic. Nira's guards rushed toward the gates. Liam followed, his heart steady. He had faced danger before, but the uncertainty of the situation made his mind alert. What is happening? Liam asked. Nira's voice was sharp. A rogue faction has triggered an ancient defense system outside the city. It threatens to release dangerous energy that could destroy part of Zyra if not stopped. We must act quickly. Liam nodded. Tell me what to do. Nira led him to a command chamber where holographic screens displayed the energy surge spreading across the outskirts. The system can be deactivated, she explained, but it requires someone to enter the control zone. The path is dangerous, and only the brave can succeed. One mistake could be fatal. I can go, Liam said without hesitation. Nira turned sharply. You? A human? The path is filled with obstacles and unstable energy fields. You could be destroyed. I am willing to try, Liam said calmly. I have faced dangers before. I act carefully and with courage. If my actions can help protect your city, I must try. Nira studied him, her violet eyes reflecting both worry and admiration. She had seen humans act with courage, but few would risk their lives willingly. Finally, she nodded. Very well. I will guide you. But you must follow my instructions exactly. One error could be deadly. Together, they left the city and moved toward the outskirts. The air grew thick with energy, and the ground shimmered with dangerous patterns. Liam carefully observed every step, matching Nira's precise movements. She pointed out safe paths and unstable zones, her instructions clear and sharp. As they approached the control center, a massive barrier of swirling energy blocked their path. Nira glanced at Liam. This is the most dangerous part. Only one can pass at a time. You must go first. Focus on the energy patterns and move carefully. I will, Liam said. He stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the shifting energy. Using a small device from his backpack, he analyzed the patterns and predicted the safe spaces. Each step required focus, patience, and balance. Sparks of energy brushed past him, and he felt the heat from unstable zones, but he moved steadily, trusting his judgment and his training. Neera watched silently, her eyes wide. She had never seen a human act with such calm determination in the face of deadly energy. Liam reached the control panel and studied the mechanisms. The symbols were unfamiliar, but he applied logic and reasoning, recalling patterns and sequences he had seen in Earth technology. After several tense minutes, he pressed the correct sequence, and the swirling energy barrier began to dissipate. A wave of relief passed over the control zone. The system's energy stabilized, and the threat to the city diminished. Neera stepped forward, her face breaking into a rare, genuine smile. You did it, human. You faced the danger and succeeded. You risked your life to save my people, and you did so without hesitation. Liam nodded quietly. I did what was necessary. Your people's safety matters. That is all. The citizens, who had gathered to watch from a safe distance, cheered. They had witnessed the courage of the human who had faced deadly energy to protect them. Neera's guards bowed in respect, and even her advisors looked impressed. Neera turned to Liam, her violet eyes softer than ever. You have shown me something I did not expect. Humans can act with bravery, wisdom, and selflessness. You have earned the trust of not only me but of my people. Liam shook his head. I do not seek trust for myself. I act honestly because it is right. That is all I can offer. Neera smiled faintly. Perhaps that is why your actions are so powerful. Trust and respect are not given, they are earned through deeds. And you have earned both. As they walked back to the city, Liam noticed how the citizens looked at him differently. He was no longer just an outsider. He had become a symbol of courage and integrity. Neera's people had seen that human kindness and bravery could be genuine, and their suspicion had begun to fade. Later, in the palace, Neera led Liam to a quiet terrace overlooking the floating city. The twin suns were setting, casting golden and purple hues across the buildings. You have passed a trial today that many of my people could not face, she said. I am beginning to understand that humans are capable of more than I believed. Courage, wisdom, and honesty, these are qualities that transcend worlds. I am glad I could help, Liam said softly. I hope that by showing my actions, I can teach others that kindness and bravery are not weaknesses. They are strengths that connect us all. Neera's eyes reflected a mixture of pride and curiosity. You have opened my mind, human. Perhaps there is hope in learning from one another. Your courage has shown me that trust can grow even in unexpected places. But remember, the future holds more challenges. Actions will always matter. I understand, Liam said. I will continue to act honestly and with courage, no matter what comes next. For the first time, Neera felt a deep sense of respect and admiration for the human beside her. She had seen him risk everything without expecting reward, and she realized that his actions carried a power beyond strength or skill, they carried integrity. The city of Zyra glowed beneath them, calm and safe once more. Liam had proven that human bravery and kindness were real, even in the face of deadly danger. And Princess Neera had learned that judgment based solely on expectation or suspicion could be wrong. Trust could grow through actions, and courage could inspire even the most skeptical hearts. As night fell, the stars above Zyra sparkled like diamonds. Liam and Neera stood together, looking out at the city, each knowing that the journey was far from over. But in that moment, they shared a silent understanding: when honesty, courage, and kindness guided actions, even the greatest challenges could be faced, and trust could be forged across worlds. The city of Zyra woke to a calm morning. The twin suns rose gently, reflecting off the floating islands and the glowing buildings. Liam walked beside Princess Neera through the palace gardens. Both had changed over the past days. Liam had proven his courage, patience, and honesty. Neera had learned that humans could act with selfless integrity. There was still caution in her eyes, but it was mixed with respect and curiosity. We have faced many dangers together, Nira said softly. And yet, I still wonder, can humans truly act without expectation? Liam looked at her with a calm smile. Some of us try. I act because it is right. That is all I ask. Nira considered his words, then nodded slowly. Perhaps you have shown me more than I realized. Actions reveal truth more clearly than words ever could. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alert. Holographic screens flashed red in the distance. Liam and Nira ran to the palace's command chamber. The city's energy grid was unstable. A new threat was approaching, not from outside forces, but from a natural phenomenon. A massive storm of charged particles, unusual in Zyra's atmosphere, was moving toward the city. Nira's violet eyes widened. This storm could destroy buildings, harm citizens, and disrupt the city completely. We must act quickly. Liam nodded. What can I do to help? You must coordinate with the defense systems and the citizens, Nira said. I will focus on stabilizing the energy core, but we need to protect the city simultaneously. Timing and precision are critical. Working together, they directed the city's defenses. Liam instructed citizens calmly, showing them safe zones and guiding them away from danger. His voice was steady, his actions precise. Nira focused on the energy core, her skill and knowledge keeping it stable even as the storm's charged particles reached the city's outer layers. The storm hit with violent force. Lightning-like energy flashed across the sky, shaking buildings and sending debris into the streets. Nira and Liam worked in perfect coordination. Liam's guidance helped citizens avoid harm, while Nira's energy manipulations prevented the storm from damaging the city's core. At one critical moment, a surge of energy threatened to breach a protective barrier. Liam acted without hesitation. Using a portable device, he reinforced the shield, redirecting the energy safely away from the citizens. Sparks flew, and heat radiated from the device, but Liam did not falter. Nira glanced at him in amazement. You act without fear, human. Even now, you risk yourself to protect others. I act because it is right, Liam said calmly. Their safety matters more than my own. The storm raged for what felt like hours, but together, they held the city safe. Buildings remained intact, citizens were unharmed, and the energy core stabilized. Finally, the storm passed, leaving the city glowing under the calm twin suns. The citizens emerged from their shelters, cheering and applauding the human and the princess who had saved them. Nira stepped forward, her violet eyes reflecting both relief and admiration. Liam, you have faced danger not once, but again. You have acted with courage, intelligence, and kindness. You have proven that humans can be more than I imagined. Your actions have earned trust beyond words. Liam shook his head. I do not seek trust for myself. I only act honestly. If others see that my actions are true, then I am glad. That is all I can hope for. Nira smiled, a warmth in her expression that had not been there before. Perhaps that is what makes your kind remarkable. You act without expecting reward, and yet, through your actions, you inspire others. Today, you have inspired not only me but all of Zyra. The citizens gathered around them, showing respect and gratitude. Nira raised her hand, commanding attention. People of Zyra, she said, her voice strong and clear, this human has shown bravery, wisdom, and integrity beyond what I imagined. Let us honor him not as an outsider, but as one who has acted to protect and guide us. Let this be a lesson: trust is earned through actions, and courage and kindness can change the hearts of many. The crowd cheered, and Liam felt a quiet pride. He had not sought recognition, but the acknowledgement of his actions mattered less than the fact that his choices had saved lives and strengthened bonds. Later, Nira led Liam to the palace balcony, overlooking the glowing city. You have changed my perspective, human, she said softly. I once believed humans acted only for gain. Now I see that courage and honesty are not limited by species. They exist wherever beings choose to act rightly. I am glad, Liam said. I hope that one day, humans and the people of Zyra can learn from each other, work together, and create a future where understanding and respect guide our actions. Nira nodded. Perhaps that future can begin now. Your presence has shown me the strength in kindness and bravery. It is rare, but it is powerful. Perhaps together, we can guide our people toward a world where trust and courage lead, rather than suspicion and fear. For the first time, Nira allowed herself to relax. She had learned that actions mattered more than assumptions. She had seen human courage, patience, and honesty in moments of danger. She had witnessed someone act selflessly, risking life for others without expectation of reward. Liam looked out at the city, glowing softly under the twin suns. He felt a quiet satisfaction. The journey had been challenging, but it had proved something important: integrity, courage, and kindness could bridge worlds. As night fell, stars sparkled over Zyra like a sea of diamonds. Nira stood beside Liam, silent for a moment, then said, "Perhaps, human, you have taught me the most important lesson of all. That trust and understanding are not given freely. They are built, through courage, honesty, and action. Today, you have built more than trust, you have built hope." Liam smiled faintly. "Then I am glad. Hope is worth more than anything else. And if my actions can inspire even a small part of that hope, it is enough." The city of Zyra was safe. The storm had passed. The citizens had witnessed courage, teamwork, and integrity. Princess Nira had learned that humans could act with honor and kindness, even when faced with danger. Liam had shown that one individual, guided by honesty and courage, could make a difference across worlds. Together, they stood in silence, watching the glowing city. The bond between human and princess had grown stronger, built not on words or promises, but on deeds. Trust had been forged across worlds, proving that integrity and bravery could unite even the most unlikely allies.